humans, it's just Martine, and as you can tell from the giant stack of books in front of my face, I have another Dollar Tree book haul to share with you today. I've got 8 books here to share with you. Not to out myself or anything, but I think I bought these books at the same time as my last Dollar Tree haul. I went crazy at the Dollar Tree that day, but I was like, I wanna keep the video like a manageable length, so I split them into 2. Hope you'll forgive me for that. If you want to see just how much money I saved by buying books at the Dollar Tree, make sure you stay tuned until the end. Let's jump straight into it because we got things to say about these. Mix of genres, age ranges, etc., etc. So I have 3 categories here in my it's not a spreadsheet, but in my Notion page about this haul. We have thrillers, we have weird formats or finds, and then we have random. You know, let's hit all those. The first random book, I have Lights All Night Long by Lydia Fitzpatrick. I think this is just an adult book. I think at first glance I was like, is this a YA book? But I don't think it is. It's a debut novel, which is exciting. Let's see if there's anything interesting about the author. Oh, she gave us some book recommendations. That's fancy. That's fancy. No, we don't want to know about the author, apparently. I don't see an author bio page. Anyway, let's figure out what this is about. It's about this girl who arrives in Louisiana. She's from Russia though, so that's interesting. So she's spending a year in America as an exchange student. Usually when I read books that have exchange students, they're the secondary character, right? Like they're walking into somebody's life. But no, this is a Russian exchange student who's going to Louisiana. Oh, it's a boy. But he's worried about his brother back at home because when he was chosen to go on exchange, brother immersed himself in the drug scene back at home and is now in prison for murder. So he's both trying to prove his brother's innocence and also trying to find his place in America. Every time I do one of these hauls, and it's been a while since I've actually hauled the book, I'm like, why did I buy this? And then I read the back, I'm like, oh my goodness, this sounds so good, I want to read it immediately. Copyright for this was 2019, and it was originally $17. It's a Penguin Random House book. The author bio is in the front for some reason. Moving on. Next, this one caught my eye. It's called We Walked the Sky. It's by Lisa Fielder. This is a circus book. If you couldn't tell from the circus tent on the front and the tightrope walking, this is a historical fiction. It's set in 1965, and it's about this girl who ran away from home and joins the circus, you know, like you do. Then it jumps 50 years later, I guess. So it's kind of historical, kind of not. So she runs away to the circus, then her granddaughter is a tightrope walker and is being forced to leave the circus. Okay, I guess it's about the granddaughter, but it's also got the background of the grandma. And so she decides to use her grandmother's circus prowess to navigate the uncharted waters of public school. I love multi-generational stories, and the running away to the circus trope is, you know, it's a classic, really. It's a classic. And this one was copyright 2019, originally $17.99. All right, let's move on to weird formats or finds. The first one is a poetry book, and I don't think I've ever seen a poetry book at the Dollar Tree, so I'm very excited to see this. It's called Silent Squall, and it's by Alpha. All her poems are about heartbreak and anxiety and depression, all that stuff. In this version, there's an updated introduction and a brand new chapter of poetry. In the dedication, it says, everyone becomes a poet when their hearts are screaming, and that's a lot, but beautiful. Oh, we got some trigger warnings on the inside, which is nice. This one, copyright 2018, and was originally $15.99. And again, the first time I found a poetry book at the Dollar Tree, so I needed to have it. Next, we've got Your Duck is My Duck by Deborah Eisenberg. And from the title alone, I knew I wanted it. Your Duck is My Duck. This is a series of short stories. I always pick up when I see them at the Dollar Tree pretty much because I usually enjoy them quite a bit. This is a notable book of the year. The New York Times book review from whatever year this is from, 2018. There are 6 short stories in Your Duck is My Duck, but it has the heft and complexity of a novel, the back says. She writes about everything, so it's hard to tell you what this is about. Most of these were published previously in other things magazines or something. Anyway, it has the 6 stories are Your Duck is My Duck, Taj Mahal, Cross Off and Move On, Merge, The Third Tower, and Recalculating. I'm looking forward to this. Yeah, copyright 2018, originally sold for $16.99. It's a pretty short story collection. I'm looking forward to it. The last really weird format that I picked up is kind of a read-through book, kind of not. Everybody has looked at me like I was crazy for picking this up, but it's Follow This Thread, a maze book to get lost in by Henry Elliott. It's a book about mazes, which wouldn't seem interesting except for the format that it's told in is very maze-like, like words are every which way, upside down, sideways, all that. And there's a line that starts from the very beginning and is used for every piece of line art in here, so it's like all connected throughout the whole thing. Great like line art moments. Even this like complex thing is just made with the one line. It's so cool. It's so cool, and I'm sure I'm gonna learn stuff from it, but I just couldn't resist the format because it just seemed fun. Like, it's going to be a pain to read, to be like, yes, I'm reading this, I'm figuring it out, but I think it'll be super cool. It was copyright 2018, and it doesn't say the price on it anywhere that I could find, but Barnes & Noble said that it was 18 bucks. So that's what I'm going with, that it was 18 bucks. So poetry book, short story book, maze book, these are my weird finds. And then on to the thrillers. I find a lot of thrillers at the Dollar Tree, so they often end up being like a large part of what I find. Anyway, the first one is Do No Harm by Dr. Paul Vincent Moschetta. Yep. And this book is inspired by true events, which is cool. It's got lots of mental health rep because the main character, I guess, has a manic episode that lands him in the state hospital. So he has bipolar 1 then. After 3 years, he's still hospitalized, and he's got a sadistic psychiatrist who's messing with him. And then he meets a social worker who's going to try and help him get out, but he's having a lot of trouble in there. So this seems like really haunting. I'm really interested to see how the mental health rep is done. But the author of this is a psychotherapist, so hopefully the representation will be really good in this. But as soon as I saw that the main character had bipolar 1, I was like, well, gotta read it. Copyright 2017, originally $16. Next, I have Call Me Evie by J.P. Pomer. The author has a literary podcast, and this is his first novel, so that's fun. So it's about this girl, she lives with her uncle, and they move to an isolated cabin in a remote beach town. And her uncle just says that he's hiding her to protect her because he did some terrible things, but she doesn't have any memory of what he's talking about, so she doesn't know what's true. So I guess there's like an amnesia trope in here. She's starting to get some of her memories back, so she's wondering if her uncle is like her savior or her captor. Amnesia tropes are like a real hit and miss for me, but I always like picking them up, so I'm interested to see like how I feel about this one. The copyright for this is 2019, and it originally sold for $26. A corkscrew plot, prose that crackles like kindling, that merciless twist to the knife finale. Striking. That's a good review for a thriller. And then last but not least, we have What You Hide by Natalie D. Richards. The red thrillers are coming in clutch. I have so many red thrillers from the Dollar Tree, I could make a whole video doing just that. This one, apparently on the mirror, this message in lipstick appears that says, "Stay hidden." So, okay. So it's about this girl who didn't want to leave home, but she wasn't safe, so she sleeps at her best friend's house and tries to figure out what's coming next. Apparently her mom's the bad guy. Then this other person, he volunteers at the library, and his parents are like trying to make him a perfectionist, and then he meets this girl who ran away from home. And then there's the tragic death, and I think it makes the library dangerous. Yes, thank you. The author works at a small library by day and writes creepy stories at night. Seems interesting to me. Then this was copyright 2019 and was originally $10.99. For all these weird and wonderful books, I paid $125 for each. So I spent $10 on these books minus tax. Their worth, when you add up all their original prices, is $138.96. So on this stack of books from the Dollar Tree, I saved $128.96. That's insane, and I'm so excited for all of these books. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a big thumbs up and comment down below which of these books seems most interesting to you. You can divide it up by category or just like overall. Which do you think should be at the top of my TBR? And subscribe for more reading, writing, and college lifestyle content. And until next time, bye humans, bye!